Okay, let's dive into this. You sent us some really, really chilling source material. It starts off feeling almost ordinary, right? Finding an apartment, getting a roommate.
Yeah, through a mutual friend, everything seems fine, normal even. Your source describes that initial phase perfectly, just, standard roommate stuff.
Exactly. They weren't best friends, the source says, but they got along okay. This is Emily Stone, 26, graphic designer, Columbus, Ohio, October 2021.
Right. And the roommate, Claire, quiet, paid the rent on time, kept to herself mostly. Seems pretty low-key.
Totally. But that's the thing with this story, based on your sources, that normal feeling. It starts to shift, subtly at first.
It does, and that's often how these things begin, isn't it? Your source points to small things, food missing from the fridge.
Yeah, not just like, oh, they used the last of the milk, but actual noticeable amounts gone.
Exactly. And lights being left on that Emily was sure she'd turned off. Little things that make you think, maybe I'm just forgetting.
You second guess yourself. Your source really highlights that feeling. Did I leave that light on? Did I eat that food and just not remember?
But then there was that one incident your source mentions that was, well, harder to explain away.
The bedroom door.
Yeah. Emily comes home, her own bedroom door is locked. From the inside.
And she never locked it. Ever.
Never. She gets it open, looks around. Nothing seems obviously wrong or out of place inside. But still.
That feeling, though, that just deep sense of wrongness. Your source says that's when it really started to solidify for her.
It wasn't just her being forgetful anymore. Something was definitely off.
And it escalates from there, according to your source material.
Yeah.
There was, this weekend, Claire was supposed to be gone.
Right. Visiting her sister, supposedly out of town. The apartment should have been empty, just Emily.
But she hears noises.
Footsteps. Coming from Claire's room, which was locked.
Chilling. And your source says she called out Claire's name.
Yeah, called her name. Silence. Just silence back. And then Claire comes back from her trip, acts completely normal. Trip was great. No mention of coming home early. Nothing.
And Emily didn't push it.
The source says she didn't confront her directly then, but she knew. She knew something was seriously wrong. It's hard, isn't it? Living with someone.
Yeah.
You want to believe the best, or at least believe the ordinary.
Absolutely. It's easier than facing something truly disturbing right there in your home. Which brings us to November 3rd. The night everything came crashing down, detailed in your source.
Emily gets home late. Apartment's dark. She figures Claire isn't home.
Walks into her bedroom.
And sees it. The window, it's open.
Yeah.
And on the floor, muddy footprints leading into her closet, not out. In.
Oh my God, inside the closet.
That's when the source says pure terror hit. She immediately called 911.
Okay, so police arrive, they search the place, Claire's not there.
Gone. Vanished. But they search Claire's room, which was locked again.
Hey.
And behind the dresser, your source details this, they find a loose panel, a false panel.
No way.
Yeah. And behind it, a crawl space.
A crawl space. What was in there?
According to your sources, blankets, empty food wrappers, like someone had been spending time there, and a burner phone.
Okay, that's creepy enough. But there was more, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah. The source says the truly horrifying find was photos. Dozens of them. All of Emily.
What kind of photos?
Photos taken while she was sleeping, photos of her in the shower, in her car, at her workplace. Just constant surveillance.
Taken from inside the apartment. Or like from that crawl space.
It implies both. Like she was being watched constantly, even in her most private moments. It became clear Claire wasn't just a roommate, she was a stalker, living with her.
That is terrifying.
Yeah.
And the force revealed Claire wasn't even her real name, right?
Not at all. Her real name was Vanessa Quinn. She'd used completely fake information, fake credentials, to rent the apartment with Emily.
Wow. Did your source mention if she had a history of this?
It did. A record of identity theft, some minor break-ins, but crucially, previous roommates had filed restraining orders against her before for similar behavior, it sounds like.
And they didn't stick.
The source notes they hadn't stuck long-term, which is maybe how she managed to keep doing this. It raises that whole issue your source touches on, how hard it can be to make these things stop legally, especially stalking or intrusion that isn't like overt physical violence initially.
So Vanessa Quinn disappears after Emily calls the cops. How did they find her?
That burner phone from the crawl space, they traced it. Found her location in Dayton, which is only about an hour from Columbus.
And they caught her.
Arrested her 2 days later in a motel. Your source lists the charges: unlawful surveillance, B&E, stalking, fraud. Pretty serious stuff.
Thankfully, Emily wasn't physically hurt.
Physically, no, thank God. But the psychological impact, your source material makes that very clear. Immense.
I can only imagine. Did she ever go back to the apartment?
Never. Moved out of state entirely, changed her number, got a security system, just completely uprooted her life.
And the source mentioned something about closets.
Yeah. Even now, years later, she checks every closet, every single night. That kind of trauma, that violation of safety in your own home, it stays with you.
It's just the planning involved. As your source points out, Vanessa didn't just happen to live there. She targeted Emily, studied her, watched her, lived inside the walls, practically.
It's that proximity that's so deeply disturbing. The danger wasn't some stranger outside. It was someone sharing her kitchen, her hallway, someone she saw every day.
And that really hammers home the main point from the sources you shared, doesn't it? That the people we need to be wary of aren't always obvious threats. Sometimes they're right there, close by.
Absolutely. It underlines that closing thought from the source material you have to trust your gut. That feeling when something is just off, especially in a place you're supposed to feel secure. Don't ignore it.
So thinking about this story, this deep dive into your sources, it leaves you wondering, doesn't it? How well can we ever truly know the people we let into our lives, into our homes? And are we listening closely enough when our instincts try to warn us?